Okay, so first things first, immediate news. It's 5 p.m. and I haven't had a Celsi. I mean, maybe that's kind of technically cheating because I had half a Monster this morning, so technically I had bubbles. But I usually have like 4 of these a day, and it hasn't happened yet. So are we evolving? Is that a sign of something bad? I don't know. Also, hello. Hi. Update number 2, I cut my hair. It's pretty short now. It looks really good when I get out of the shower and I style it. This is a day old now, so it's not so super good. And the third thing that I will start with is I have a rule that I'm not allowed to film wearing a black shirt because the wall's black and it just doesn't work. But I really didn't want to change my outfit. I really like my fit. I'm going out after I finish this. I'm going for a walk, and I just didn't want to budge on that. So I know I'm going to be kicking myself when I'm editing this, and I realize that you can barely see me, and I'm just a floating head. But you know what? We're going to rock with it today. All right, that's it. Let's get into the video. Honestly, I don't know what I'm going to title this one yet, but it has to do with the fact that I got promoted last week. And this video is really not so much a conversation or a story about getting promoted as it is a story about being affirmed in the life that I've been creating for myself and building ultimately a life that is not just worth celebrating, but a life where you're celebrating it and your choices frequently, not just once in a while. But we'll get into that. We have to start with the promotion, right? So last week on Tuesday, I came in. This is the day after Memorial Day. And to me, it was just a normal day of work. But at the end of the day, my manager and the head of our group called me into their office and they explained to me that I was getting promoted because of all the really good work that I've been doing and the fact that I've been really punching above my weight at work for a really long time. And they just kind of wanted to recognize that and utilize it really, I think, as a retention tool to keep me motivated and to just be like, hey, we're celebrating the work that you're doing. Keep doing more of this. And you're an asset to the team and to the group. And it was really awesome news. I don't think no matter what, hearing that from people when you're putting in effort, you know, I'm eternally grateful for everything in life, or I'm trying to be. And it meant a lot to me to hear those words and to kind of get that feedback. So it was a really big moment for me outside of anything else that I've ever said about work or working or what I want to do for the rest of my life. You know, I'm texting my brother and he's like, congratulations. And he's so proud of me and I'm so proud of myself. And, you know, we're just kind of going back and forth. And I joke a lot because I think I was raised to understand at least decently well, considering my privilege, the value of the dollar. And so I'm not really a big spender. I don't really spend much on anything, really. I'm not super materialistic. I don't spend a lot of money on clothes. I probably spend the most money on groceries because I, buy my whole food, my fresh vegetables, and my fresh meats and things. It's probably the most expensive thing that I buy consistently. But anyway, so I was texting with my brother and he's joking. He's like, get extra meat on your DIY deli sandwich tonight. And I told him, I was like, yeah, now I can actually really afford kombucha. So we were kind of just joking back and forth. He ends that conversation with, do something special to celebrate tonight. And those words just kind of echoed in my head as I was savoring the fact of being celebrated and not just the fact that I was being celebrated or congratulated or the fact that I was promoted, but it gave me this important moment to just kind of take a breath and realize that I was getting rewarded for months and years of hard work and hard effort and just kind of reflecting on that journey and the fact that I came in as an intern, now I'm an associate and all that kind of stuff. I was just really sitting in some awesome, sentimental, accomplishing feelings that are just really amazing. And I get in the car and I'm driving home and I'm thinking about that sentence, do something special to celebrate tonight. And as much as my brother and I were joking about the extra deli meat on the sandwich or the kombucha, I was thinking about it. My last hour of work for that day, I was like, maybe I'll just drive myself over to the bar down the street and buy myself a beer, because I can do that. I can just buy myself a beer and celebrate myself financially, but also the fact that I can roll up to a bar and sit alone, and that doesn't bother me, and I don't need someone to celebrate me, and I don't need to be on a date with somebody to go do that. And I was kind of reflecting on that, and then I said, you know what, I'm not really a big drinker. I don't want a beer. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to go get myself my nice overpriced kombucha. And so I'm driving home and I'm kind of just putting together this realization that on a very special occasion where you could swing the beer, or you could swing the cake, or you could swing the buy a new sweatshirt to celebrate yourself. It's a special occasion. What's your treat, right? The realization for me was the fact that I wanted nothing more than to just come home at the end of that day and have a day like any of my other weekdays. I wanted to get in the car, get my kombucha, change, sit outside and read and bask in the setting sun and just put my feet in the grass and be there for that moment. I didn't want to go buy a beer. I didn't want to go buy a sweatshirt. I wanted to have my routine. I wanted to be who I already am, and I wanted to celebrate myself in a way that doesn't necessarily feel like a celebration for me Monday to Friday or Monday to Sunday, but in that moment, reflecting on the fact that I had done something amazing and I had been celebrated for something amazing, and I had the opportunity, if I so chose, to celebrate myself in a special way, to spend a little extra money or do something a little out of the ordinary. I didn't want to. And I texted my brother and I said, it's just funny because I want nothing more than to go home and put my feet in the grass and read and do exactly what I would on any other Tuesday. And the realization that I am already living my dream life, the realization that I am already celebrating myself or living a life that feels like a celebration is the gift. The gift isn't the beer, the kombucha, or the sweatshirt. The gift is my life. And the fact that my life feels like a gift, the fact that I am so in alignment currently at now 25 years old, the fact that I'm so in alignment with the life that I want to be living, that I'm already kind of there in a way, made my whole night. It made my whole week. It was something that I hadn't processed before that moment. It definitely made my kombucha taste better. It definitely made... I ended up writing, not reading, because I wanted to push myself a little further, which is, I guess, a digression, but no, it's not a digression. It's an important thing to call out. I thought, maybe I'll reward myself by taking it a little easier tonight and just laying down on the couch and watching YouTube. And then I was like, but that's not going to make me feel good. What's going to make me feel good is to lean into the fact that I'm fresh right now and I'm on and I feel good and I can push myself to write. I don't even need to settle for reading. I can be a little bit more creative than that. So yeah, I don't know where I was going with that sentence, but it made everything feel better. I was more present than usual. I was more alive to those moments after work than usual, and I was more satisfied than usual. That kombucha tasted like liquid gold, man. And I wouldn't have realized that I'm in alignment with that life had I not been promoted. And the fact that it just tasted so sweet, literally and metaphorically, to choose the same set of behaviors that I would on a normal day in my normal routine. I've never known that feeling consciously before. I know people say that, like, oh, love what you do and you'll never work a day in your life. And that's not me today necessarily. But the fact that I had every excuse or opportunity in the book on that day to do literally anything different, maybe a little extravagant, maybe a little reckless, maybe a little useless. And I was just like, nah, man, I'm good. What a mark of healing and a mark of alignment for me. And I'm not readily going to forget that. And I'm glad that I'm not going to readily forget that. And so if I'm going to wrap up this video with anything, it's just that I'm grateful to have been affirmed on the course of life that I'm already on, to use this as yet another example, not just of congratulating myself for a job well done, but the fact that a job well done only continues being a job well done if you continue to perform it and push yourself. And if the universe is going to reward me in these external ways, and it's going to reward me with health and happiness and a tribe and with promotions and salary increases and vitality, it's up to me to just keep actively asking myself and turning that back on myself and saying, okay, what more can I do? Because I don't want to take for granted the gifts that the universe is providing for me, and I want to do more, and I want to be more, and I want to dream bigger, and not just dream bigger, but just dedicate conscious time every day to building those dreams. Even if it's just for 5 minutes, it doesn't need to be this huge thing. I still come home at the end of my day and I'm tired and I watch YouTube, but I'm like, I'm going to watch YouTube when I eat dinner at 8 o'clock. So it's 6 o'clock. What can I do now that's going to make me feel good? Can I make a video like this right now, which is literally today's example? Can I go read? Can I go for a walk? Can I text a friend that I forgot to respond to? Can I do something that makes the world a better place or makes me a better person for being in it? And that's where I'm at in life right now, man. And I don't know how much of this is going to be a prescription or applicable to anybody else. If you're listening through this full video, I guess just thank you for holding space for my happiness, which is really, really selfless of you, because I've basically just talked directly about myself for 18 minutes, or whatever it's going to be by the time that I cut this down. But if I could say anything that is a prescription, or hopefully is sort of more applicable than this right here, right now, it would be that you deserve to live a life that feels like a celebration. And every minute of every moment of every day is not bound to feel great or feel like a celebration. Hard work is hard work. But you deserve to be in alignment with your dream life, or at least aspects of your dream, either in terms of breadth or in depth. And by that, I mean, maybe you want to make a 6-figure salary, and you want to be in a happy relationship, and you want to lose 20 pounds, right? So you can have breadth in that. You're making more money than you need, and you're eating healthier, and you're on your way to forming a relationship. That would be, checking off aspects of those 3. Or maybe it's you get to that 6-figure salary. You know what I mean? Just as an example, I want you to know that anything that you want, anything that any of us want, we can have. You just have to allow yourself the ability to dream it and believe that it can happen, and the ability to receive from the universe and let yourself go. Put yourself out there and then let it go. And I don't want you to feel like you need to live a life with friction. I don't want you to feel like life needs to be extraordinarily hard for the things that you want to happen or to be worth it. Like, I just kind of try to write, 5 minutes a day if I can. And is it going to maybe take me 10 years to write a book if I do 5 minutes a day? Yeah, but I don't need to beat myself over the head to write 3 hours if that's going to make me not happy or feel like I'm living a life that is celebratory. So I'm trying to get really much better at these rambly conclusions. This one is definitely not in alignment with that, but it deserves to be said. Because I can't just celebrate myself for 20 minutes and not acknowledge whoever's watching this. So that's sort of my weird receiver's guilt, which I probably need to work on too. But that's not the topic of this video. So thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. And thank you for everything. I love you. And I'll talk to you next week. I already have like a queue of videos that I need to record. I have this one, and then I wanted to do one on celebrating my 25th birthday and the concept of celebrating yourself. And I had another one come to me today, future planning. If you're here, a little sneak preview on like the difference between the ego and the heart in terms of like, if you're doing good things to be a good person, should I tell people that? Should I be marketing that or not? Because if you market it, it's clearly kind of coming from like an ego stroke. But I know that when I talk about some of my personal accomplishments or good deeds that I'm doing, it inspires other people. So like determining the balance of doing things out of the ego versus the benefits of sharing for other people. That's something that I want to talk about. I've got a whole bunch of stuff in the works, man. That's I'm excited. I'm happy that I'm actually excited to be making YouTube videos again, because for months I was not. So thank you for being here and being patient to me saying I don't want to be here either. But we're here. We're good now. I love you. Have a beautiful week, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye. I gotta get a thumbnail. Hold on. What's my thumbnail gonna be? I got it. Can you imagine if I did that? I don't know. Goodbye.